When you feel hungry, you feel lethargic, you feel tired. Sometimes you might even get a headache. But if you find yourself hungry after eating a meal, we have a problem. That's why Dr. Lisa from Better Slimmer You is in session today, and I am going to give you 5 reasons why you always feel hungry. The reasons to feel hungry are always varied, and a lot of the times instinct to eat and put some food into your tummy has very little to do with food, believe it or not. Although hunger is a very important cue for our bodies to refuel and get the energy we need to survive, sometimes hunger can mean that we are not getting enough nutrients. Or it can also be psychological. We might be feeling bored or stressed out or upset or angry or what have you. So the question arises, how can you figure out what your body is actually trying to tell you? These 5 scenarios might help clue you in. First one, you guessed it, you are not sleeping enough. Well, I spoke a lot about the importance of sleep in a lot of my videos, and a lot of the times the adequate amount of sleep is 7 to 9 hours. If you're sleeping less than that or more than that, it's going to throw you off balance. And what I mean by that is your hormones might get a little bit off balance, and it can create an effect where you might want to reach for some food for energy when you're actually not hungry. It relates to late night snacking or whatnot. And what you really want to focus on is not only getting the amount of sleep, hours in a day of sleep, but also make sure that the quality of your sleep is good too, because that is also can impact your hunger levels at night and as well as throughout the day. So what I suggest in that regard, make sure that you have a really good sleeping routine, and that entails priming yourself for a good night's sleep, making sure that your blue lights are all off, very minimal electronics, an hour before you're ready to doze off. Also, maybe do some breathing or bedtime yoga or some bedtime stretching, something along the lines of that, to basically prep yourself for that peaceful night. And also maybe try to clean up your diet and reach for low inflammation food items, because usually what you eat during the day really impacts your sleep at night. That's what I at least noticed in myself. Another big one, try to avoid caffeine later in the day. I would stop drinking anything like coffee or anything with a lot of caffeine, which is in sodas also, anytime after 2 p.m. And also analyze what you eat for dinner and how it affects you falling asleep and staying asleep throughout the night, because I noticed in myself what I eat, my last meal of the day, is crucial to how the quality of sleep that I get at night. So I had to do some playing around with food combinations and different meal ideas. So definitely check that. Second scenario, you're just bored. So if you find yourself mindlessly reaching for that bag of chips or pretzels while watching TV, you, my friends, might be snacking out of boredom and not real hunger. Research has found that a lot of the times people tend to eat out of boredom when they experience some negative emotions, like when they're bored or anxious or nervous or sad, as opposed to feeling happy and satisfied. They also found that people who tend to eat out of negative emotion also struggle with disordered eating. The solution: when you get the urge to munch on something, instead of actually reaching for something and putting some processed and highly sugary foods into your mouth, what you do is you go for a walk, call a friend, or take a shower, or do some sort of an activity that will, put your body into motion. Maybe do some exercising as an example. Or what you could also do is whiten your teeth, when you literally prohibit access to any food to enter your mouth because just won't be able to do it. But the point is, you just gotta make sure to distract yourself and get busy with something else. Third scenario is you probably did a tough workout. Look, anybody who works out on a regular basis knows that the more you exercise, the more hungry you will get later on. And of course, also that applies, especially that applies to aerobic and cardio workouts. So if you do an hour of like Zumba dance or some sort of, I don't know, like cardio workouts, cardio exercises, or even if like you go for a run, something that will get your heart rate up. Yes, you will burn a lot of calories during the activity, but you will also feel a lot more hungrier after that workout, and it will, increase your appetite even more, and you will be more inclined to reach for bigger portion or something unhealthy, or I don't know, something like you will just want to eat more after cardio, point blank, period. It ramps up your appetite and ruins your progress. And look, I'm not talking about like that you should not do cardio. I'm talking that maybe low impact cardio would be best, like less instead of like long and exhaustive one. Resistance training is a very good alternative also, or walking. So, walking can be applied to low impact cardio. Like for example, you can go for like an hour walk and your appetite will not be impacted really. And there's another caveat to this. If you fail to properly hydrate yourself before and after your workouts, that might actually lead to dehydration, which will signal in your body that you are hungry when you're actually thirsty. And we all know that sometimes our bodies mistaking hunger for thirst. So there you go. That's another one that you should pay attention to. And this actually leads me to the next scenario where you are actually dehydrated. Wow, this light is just crazy. But what I was trying to say is a lot of the times when people are tired, they can experience feeling lightheaded and lethargic, and a lot of the times they think that they need food when in reality they're just thirsty. So the solution to that, especially if you know for sure that this is not time to eat and you are not hungry for real, reach for a glass of water instead. And the last one is you simply have too much salt in your diet. Food that is high in sodium actually increases your hunger levels in the long term. And the reason for that is it causes the body to retain more fluid, which requires more energy and calories to store. High salt foods also tend to be processed, and a lot of the processed foods are chemically engineered to be hyperpalatable and cause overeating. So I hope this video clarified some of the hunger related things for you, and of course if it did, make sure to destroy that like button underneath this video. It really helps out my channel a lot, and not to mention I greatly appreciate it. Also, if you have not done that already, make sure to subscribe. I would love to welcome you to the Foxy family. So with that being said, stay healthy, stay fit, stay confident, and stay foxy. Of course, how could we forget that? And I'll see you in my next video.